So what we want to do is we want to quickly play what Gilbert Arenas had to say here about Michael Jordan when he became the GOAT, and then we're going to come back and continue on with the show. Take a listen to what he had to say here.
When Bird and Magic was, battling, and when Jordan came in, what they seen was a whole different animal, right? You're seeing something that is different, moves different, talks different, approaches the game different, swag, phenomenal, right? This is the best thing we've seen. Right? I don't give a what he does. This is the best player we've ever seen. Right? It was the eye test. Right? 88, 87, 88, like he literally went from the wings, they took the wings off. He got the logo. Yeah. They gave him a logo in 88. People don't realize that he got the logo in 88. Right? They took the wings off and say, you got Jordan. Right, so that whole campaign, and that is considered the greatest individual year anybody could have had. That's when he became the best player ever. There was no ring. There was rings is just what they get to use now. 6, it was just the way he did it. He carried what we have now, solo mission. It's hard to beat solo mission with stats. LeBron can win 6 rings right now.
But he won solo.
They're not giving it to him.
Yeah.
Right? You're not giving a dude who started this joint. Yeah. Right? It's just
it's tough to do.
It's tough. Yeah. Right? So basically everybody just fighting for second.
Yeah. That's an interesting take right there.
But you're talking about 88, 89, right? They're saying he's the best player in the world who's ever played this game. You got somebody with 11 rings. They're like, I did it against white folks. Right? Then you have, same thing with Wilt. No matter what it is, it wasn't against like 78 when it merged and you had the best in the world all in one building. That's when stats really mattered.
Yeah.
When everybody in the world is all together. Yeah. Right? Julius Erving, all of them, George Gervin. Yeah, now we're going to see. So when he came and like, oh, what's this? This is God right here. This him.
Yeah.
Right?
And everybody defends him too. Like, he was doing that while being hand checked. He was doing that while no D3. Like he was doing that while like everybody has the defense for why he is the greatest of all time.
And that's the frustrating part because I'm a Jordan fan, so I fight for all of them, right? The problem ain't that you're fighting for, his greatness. You're saying all his positives on why he is, but everybody's negative on why they shouldn't be. Right? That's the problem. Why you got to use all the negatives on why this person can't be Jordan. And that's what I'm like, well, like what negatives do you hear about Magic game, Jordan game, Wilt? You don't hear nothing negative about their game, but they can tell you all ours.
So you heard what Gilbert Arenas had to say. Here's what's interesting. 1988, Michael Jordan had only been in the league 4 years. 4 years. I would assume MJ had probably less than 10,000 points at that point, or maybe around 10. I don't know how many points he would have had in those 4 years. So for Michael Jordan to be considered the greatest player of all time in 88, that means that a lot of these arguments we're having around stats are quite pointless, even according to Gil. Gil has said 2 things. He has 2 schools of thought that are conflicting with each other. On the one hand, he says that we evaluate players not based on stats. That's what fans and the media do, and the media does. Then on the other hand, he will then use stats to make a case for players like LeBron James. Therein lies the conflict. Because Gilbert Arenas was already able to determine that by 1988, Michael Jordan was the greatest player of all time. As we currently sit here and speak, he also agrees that Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time, which means that any argument he's making about LeBron is still compiling stats and still compiling numbers and all of that stuff. It means that Gilbert Arenas came to a conclusion a long time ago that MJ was the greatest player ever after having a decent enough sample size of seeing LeBron, Kobe, and all of these guys play to say that this guy is the GOAT. Which is the reason why I'm always surprised to hear him make these pro-LeBron arguments. I don't understand it. He says that Kobe Bryant is his favorite player of all time. He has him number 3 all time. He has LeBron number 2. I've asked Gilbert Arenas this, and maybe one day, who knows, we'll do a show. Who knows? I don't know. Whatever the future holds. I don't know. And I asked him, who's the other, because I think Kobe's better. I said, who's the better offensive player? He said Kobe. I said, who's the better defensive player? He said Kobe. I said, who's more clutch? He said Kobe. I said, who's more mentally tougher? He said Kobe. So why aren't you saying it's Kobe Bryant? That's what I've asked him. I think in his heart of heart, he believes it's Kobe. This is what I personally believe. But I think he likes LeBron as a person, maybe because I'm assuming they know each other. And he wants him to be held in a high regard. And maybe he doesn't like the fact that people criticize him so much. But the fact of the matter is, if you're going to compare to somebody to Michael Jordan, or dare I say that person is better than Michael Jordan, you better believe people are going to scrutinize that person's basketball game. You better believe it. And when you're putting up somebody against Jordan, that person better be perfect in all aspects, stats, accomplishments, the eye test, all of it. And in all of those cases, I believe Jordan clears by a wide gap. I 100% believe that.